Hello, we're back. Blame my computer. It decided to update without me saying yes, and then had a massive fart when it finished updating and wanted to go back to continuous update by resetting. Wonderful technology. Okay, I pass back to you two, please, because you're having a wonderful conversation.
Okay, well, we just got to the point where Rick was explaining the life cycle of a Moanth. So um, he just said that Moanths like to eat a lot if they can. So, yes, we are looking for a relatively sparsely populated environment, especially if we're talking about the population of intelligent beings, sophons. We don't want um, to run the risk of a plague of Moamps taking over a planet. I think I think that's the key concern that we have.
Yes, yeah, of course. Not a lot of people. Any people that they do have, hopefully with sufficient technology to withstand three giant mounts laying siege to their homes. But other than that, I mean, you know what you're doing. You're the expert.
Yes, I do study such things. So the the place where we're going first, Habretic, probably isn't suited. Also, they're not hatched yet. We can't probably just drop the eggs on a planet, can we? Um,
Not drop them. Not from any
yeah.
height.
Then 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 Brytsee. Moamps are not particularly aquatic, and on Brytsee, aquatic is pretty much all there is.
They can evolve.
So that's a good thing. They won't get too big, right? Is that what you're saying?
They won't grow big at all. In fact,
Ah, well, perfect. Sounds wonderful. Uh, I trust your judgment. Um, it, if you come across anywhere else that may be better suited, in the meantime, please let us know. But your help is much appreciated.
I'll when we work out exactly where we're going next, I'll start looking up planetary surveys and see if we can find a suitable spot. Because I don't think we yet have a path after Brightsea, do we? So when we know where we're going after Brightsea, yeah, I'll take a look, and we may be able to find a place that will really suit our needs.
Thanks. That sounds perfect. That sounds perfect.
Okay. Um, right. So, yes, indeed. Rick returns to his drink and wanders over to chat to the others about, um, you know, random nothing. Introduces himself to Syl. Um, Cag seems to have taken a shine to her as well, and is amiably chatting with one of those silly grins on his face.
Indeed, classic cags. Stefan will spend the rest of the evening in the bar
Okay,
doing some niceties,
yeah,
catching up with people.
excellent. Then we will go to jump. Um,
Oh, John, this is exciting, by the way. Sorry. You've got to watch you jump. It's very rare in Boys in the Baltic Star. We've not done it many times. We're moving from one planet to another, so you are truly honoured. For
all
those of
right.
you that are watching for the first time, please follow Legitimine Games. Follow his weekly shows. Last one for the year, so we'll be back in the new year. We love him. He comes on for Tony and Rudy. We're going to play his game with him in the new year. It's fantastic. And we're going to enjoy it. So please click on his name, follow him, Not in a stalky way, but in a nice way. Anyway, sorry, back to you, Ben. Not the net and the ropes. That's a whole different game. That's about fishermen.
Try that. There we go. Okay. Right. So it's time for Cat to make a roll. That will do nicely. You hear her call out, going to jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just kidding. Now. And you feel that slightly weird sensation of the sort of very, very faint sense of fast acceleration. And the ship enters jump. So, next thing to think about is what skills you guys are adding in the upcoming week.
Oh, I love a skill update.
Skills,
bruv. Well, Soraya's starting on explosives. Considering she's the one that runs around with grenades, she has no explosive skill at all. So it might be a good idea to help that out a little bit. So she's going to start on that course.
Good plan. Stefan is taking his 3rd week out of 4 in deception.
Okay.
And Kara's taken her 4th week out of 4 in deception. So she is deceptive now. So I have to pick something new for next jump. Very excited.
Is she really, though? I don't believe you.
Yeah. Is she what?
You're
no. Well, I like to think I'm good enough that I could now lie about that. A level 1 deception could probably lie about that.
Yeah, that's true. And on the flip side, Agnar is taking his 2nd week in Persuade.
All right. Okay, that's great. Okay. None of the NPCs are finishing anything this time. However, Syl, who doesn't have any such things yet, has decided to go for a combat skill.
Oh, she's heard about us then. She's been speaking to Sammy.
She now needs some form of survival, shall we say?
Yeah, that happens if you spend too much time around.
Because she hasn't historically done that. So she's going for some energy gun combat.
Nice.
Her skills up to this point have mostly been admin, advocate, deception, carouse.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
Well, they're not bad skills, but she's now heading off to the fringes of space and maybe needs to not have a -3 on her combat rolls.
Yeah, that -3 is a killer.
Quite literally when it comes to combat rolls.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
But she can stay on the ship for a little while, I think.
Till she gets
4 weeks, in fact.
+1.
Oh, I'm going to bring up the map because we're in jump now. I might as well do that. If I'm going to do it, hang on. That. Yeah, there we go. And I need to reload Photoshop because I was doing the Indiana Jones style travel.
Oh yes, of course. The dotted lines.
Yeah, I've gone for pink though because the map is very red as it stands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
and to be honest, the way we play it's probably more like the Dad's Army intro.
We need the little triangle.
Indiana Jones. I'm going to be honest.
Yes, we only rise to the Indiana Jones standard when John's with us.
That is very true. That is very true.
The question is, am I going to do straight dots or am I going to do like the Dad's Army, do like the loops and things like that?
Couple of laps of whatever's close by. Do a lap of Austin and then carry on. By lap, I mean orbit.
Of
Well,
course.
Of course. That's spoken like someone on the right hand of the ship. There, look. There it is. Habretic is ours.
Look at that. Excellent. So, the flight is uneventful. Your skills have updated, and you arrive in Habretic. The Habretic is a little bit unusual if you don't recall being here before, and I don't think we actually spent any time here before. It is a perfectly pleasant, regularly breathable, atmosphered kind of world.
That is unusual.
Okay.
Run entirely as a corporate base.
Oh, say no more, say no more. Right, we've got work to do here.
And much as you might want to save the people and free them from the yoke of the overlord, the population is about 100. There really isn't anyone here who isn't an employee of that company.
Oh, but do they have a union?
No union.
Oh,
Not yet.
not yet.
It's the only thing you can realistically do here, unless you've got goods that they want from you, and they've probably ordered from you. Unless you have a trade deal, the only thing you can realistically do here is refuel.
What's the corporation, Ben? Do we know?
Good work.
Is it one?
Yes, actually, I do know. I have that down somewhere, and I'm desperately trying to remember which the corporation is.
Exactly.
Hang on a second.
That's it, Giannis. We're gonna. I'm gonna call you G from now on. My G. That works even better. We're gonna find out what it is. We're gonna buy some goods. We're gonna start talking about them every single place we go. We're gonna make it a thing.
The company is called GRT.
GRT.
It's a transportation company.
Oh, they sound boring.
And they maintain the base essentially just as a place to refuel.
Oh, I see. It's like a truck stop.
Basically, yeah.
Wow. Cara.
Yo.
You got anything that they might?
Here's the creep transportation.
Anything they might want out here?
100
people in the middle of nowhere refueling ships.
Well, you know what would have been perfect? 5 kilograms of Stanic HP DM. But unfortunately, I've sold that.
Sorry, what? I don't even know what that is.
Well, nor did I, but someone gave us a lot of money for it. And that was the most important thing. I got much to sell them. Freedom from the corporate yoke is all I can offer. Maybe they've seen me in such things as the glorious victory on Geeka. But I don't know, man. It looks pretty boring down there. Look at it. No, I know that there's plenty of space for handstands and backflips down there, but I can't see any. Scans showed no clubs, no good bars outside of truck stop type things. Don't know, man. It's pretty dead down there. Do you want to stretch your land legs after a week? We can always refuel up here, can't we? It's just a top up, isn't it? After
all. Yes, you essentially, if you want to be fully stocked, you need jump 3's worth of fuel.
And because we filled the thing, we've got 2 jumps of fuel left, haven't we?
We've currently got 2 left, yeah.
So we only need 1.
So I mean, you could just top it up with a single jump's worth, and that would be enough to take you the hop to Brytsee.
Have they got fueling down there, or are we going to need to fuel from a gas giant?
They have fuel. The fuel is not of the very highest quality, but the Baltic Star has inbuilt scrubbers and filters, so you can and the
So I'll take that personally.
and the and the Habretic is on the list of places where you can refuel for free, courtesy of Deep Night.
Oh, yeah, look, I got this card. It didn't come from Deep Night, Agnar. I got this card.
No, it looks like you
I drew
just
it myself.
printed it.
Yeah, but it says
Yeah.
allows blah blah blah, allows the flourisher of this card to refuel for free. Signed, Love, Deep Night.
Oh, look, and you've got 5 of your 6 stamps, so you can get a free breakfast as well.
Exactly, it's perfect.
It seems an odd touch, but I like it.
Should we give him a hail and see what's what?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, I'm good on the comms.
I'm intrigued.
All right.
Don't lie to them though. I know you're an expert.
I'm getting good at it. Like, they won't even know if I am, to be honest. I'm that good right now. Don't try and persuade me. You're not good enough to persuade me from not
No,
lying.
I'm not. I do have a question though about your deception skills.
Yeah.
If they become so good that you become, like
if only.
interplanetary renowned for your deception, does that make it more difficult to lie to people because everyone knows how good you are?
It does, but what it will do is it will help me to recognise other people's lies. People will be too scared to lie to me.
I hadn't even thought about that.
That's what I'm hoping for. I've been studying a lot about those micro expressions. The little squint in an eye, a little frown mark. It's hard to tell for you.
You mean
Your
like
frown
the
marks are hidden
emojis?
behind your fur. Yeah,
Yeah,
very much so.
that's
I've just been looking at emojis. I've just been texting all week, to be honest. You've caught me out. Anyway, move over. I want to have a chat. I want to try it out. Go on.
Go on. Okay. No, don't try it out. Tell the truth. I'll let you do what you want. It's all good fun.
Yeah, it's all good fun getting some fuel.
As long as we get free fuel.
Hello. This is Carvalaska. You may have seen one of my my vlogs.
This is Drindavorge, fuel station operator.
How do you spell that name, mate?
Drin.
Drin.
Davorge.
Davorge.
Drindavorge.
Yep, Drindavorge. Is that one name, mate, or is that a bit of both?
Two names.
Where does it start and when does it finish?
After the N.
Davorge. I like LaForge. Oh, that's good.
Well, other than some of the letters being different, sure.
It's a good name, mate. It's a good name. Is that part of the famous Davorge family?
I don't know. We're well known among our relatives.
Yeah. All Davorges, perhaps.
Many of them. Yeah.
We're getting on well, aren't we? Can I call you Drin or Mr. Davorge or Mrs. Davorge? I can't tell if your voice is.
You can call me Drin. It's fine.
Thanks, Drin.
And yes, I'm male.
I can tell it's a very masculine voice you've got there, Drin. Do you? I can see why you're on radio duty. You certainly know how to.
I'm really the only one here. That's why.
We don't need anyone else when you're here, Drin. It feels like you can solve all of our problems just by taking your top off.
I'm sorry to hear you're having problems.
Only emotional ones.
Oh, well, that's hopefully better.
Yeah, we've popped on by. We're looking to top up the old ship with a bit of the old fuel. We chose you specifically because, well, you were convenient.
Convenient. That's what every guy likes to hear.
Not you personally, Drin. I feel like I'd say less convenient and more mysterious, but Habretic convenient.
Oh, yes, Habretic is extremely convenient as long as you're trying to get somewhere nowhere wants to be and you're leaving somewhere nobody should have been at all.
But that's exactly what we want and where we've come from. So you're perfectly convenient.
Ideal then. Well,
You are.
normally we only get the company ships come through here, of course, but as long as you know you're supposed to stay away from Kigarisa.
Oh, Kigarisa. Yeah, what a place, huh? Heard so much about it. It's blacklisted, isn't it? Blacklisted.
You're not allowed to land there.
No, I believe you can orbit, but not land.
Yeah, we have a small orbital station there, but I don't know what your business is. Are you heading that way?
No. There's no reason we'd ever want to head to Kigarisa. We're off to Brytsee. Beautiful place. Got a lovely orbital base. I don't know if you've ever been there at all. Brightsee's a thoroughfare, of course. It's on a main line.
I come through Brytsee quite often on my way in and out of Habretic, yeah.
It's thanks you, and it was so good. He didn't even make me wrong. It just comes so naturally to me now. Yeah, it's nice. We're looking forward to going there. Just catching a breath, but we're just a little bit short of fuel. So we just wanted to top the old girl up a little bit, put a bit in the ship as well, and head off to Brytsea if that's okay.
Okay. We don't normally sell fuel here. We just run it for our own for our own ships.
You won't be selling it to us, Drin. I've got a special card here.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's from Deep Night. We're allowed to refuel for free here, thanks to Deep Night. And I've got 5 out of 6 stickers. Apparently, I'll get a free breakfast as well.
Can you roll a persuade for me, please, with intellect?
You're falling into my trap because my persuade is even better. 13.
No.
No, 15. Sorry, 15.
Breakfast for everyone.
Breakfast for all.
He says, well, I can't really do much about the breakfast, but the fueling checks out. If you pull up alongside the station, I'll let the systems take care of your ship.
Thanks, I appreciate it, Drin. Are we going to be able to speak face to face at all, or is this all going to be purely remote before we go along our way?
Well, I'm not really supposed to let people aboard the station, but I mean, if you feel you have to.
Like, we've got a few things that could probably do with tightening, a couple of bits and pieces that could probably have a prod here and there. If you don't mind, a couple of us popping in, that'd be lovely. One of our toilets are blocked.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Once we've got the ship stocked up, come over.
You got any rules? I'm guessing you don't want us to bring any weapons or anything.
No weapons. No children. We don't want animals or live plants.
That's fair enough. Okie, we can manage all of that. Roger Wilco will bring the ship down, and 2 of us will jump over and see you soon. Oh, we've got a few things. How are you for alcohol? We can bring a gift for you if you want anything, if you're allowed.
Certainly allowed alcohol.
We'll bring a little bit as a gift, as a thank you. You've been so wonderful to us.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
And right, and Cat's got to make a docking approach, of course.
Oh no! Can all go off in flames.
Oh, no, that's fine. So as you pull up alongside the station, you can see that it is essentially like a tiny little living space pod surrounded with enormous fuel tanks mounted to it. And the main docking hubs actually connect through gaps between these large cylindrical fuel pods. And they are big. I mean, they are huge pods, the fuel areas. They dwarf the Baltic Star. So as Cat brings in, you're sort of nestled in between two of these large cylinders connected to the gantry. Your airlock connects smoothly, and even as you are in the process of getting ready to walk out and through the gantry into the main part of the space station, you can already hear the engineers singing out that the fuel is coming on board.
Kara looks out, nestled between the voluminous bosoms. Oh, Agnar. Freud would have a field day, don't you think? Come on, grab
Indeed.
his. I offered him some gifts.
Before we go, should somebody tell Soraya not to be practicing those explosives near these things? Because
Probably for the best.
I mean, one of those is bigger than the whole ship. That's a lot of fuel.
Yes, that's a good call, actually. Yeah. Why don't you? I'll drop her a message, let her know while you pick out some nice gifts for our lovely friend, our lovely Drin. Can you? But before we go, can you dowdy yourself up a bit? I don't want you to look too majestic around him. I want him to feel good about himself. You just look a bit matted and a bit tired.
Wait, so you want me to look better because that will make him feel better about himself?
I want you to look a bit worse, a bit dowdy around the edges.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll rough myself up a little bit.
That's good. Good man. Good
It
man.
might take some time
though. Okay, you get some nice.
How do you think he feels about eggs? Do you think he likes eggs?
It's like a perfect place for 3 Moabs to grow up. Yeah, perfect. He said no animals, by the way. He said no animals, no plants, no weapons, no kids. And I guess Moab babies kind of count as kids and animals.
And animals, yeah, probably. Yeah. And probably weapons as well.
Yeah,
all right. So who is going ashore, so to speak?
Kara would like to take Agnar.
Okay.
Just the two of them as a little...
Any NPCs?
I don't feel the need to, unless any NPCs really want to muscle in on it.
If it depends, are you going to ask the question, or are you just going to assume that no one wants to?
I don't know. I don't want to be a bit overwhelming. Do you know what I mean? I like the they're just popping by with a little gift as a thank you. Nah, just the two of us.
Okay,
we can make it if we try. I'll go get some gifts. I'll see you by the airlock. Go on. Grab a couple. Grab some of those nice snacks as well. The fancy cheesy balls.
I'll get some good cheesy balls.
Yeah.
A couple of bottles and a couple of those cigars we keep.
Oh, are they allowed to smoke around there?
Smoke on there?
No, maybe not.
Okay,
take him anyway. Take him anyway. He might be able to.
All right. So the two of you, as you say, you don't invite any of the NPCs to join you. You don't put out a general call or ask anyone in particular. So the two of you grab a couple of things to take over. Your side of the airlock cycles, and you go through. And when you're through the other side, you are in this long, industrial-looking, bare metal kind of space station corridor that stretches quite a distance down between the fuel tanks before it actually reaches an airlock at the other end. It is a 0G station. It has no artificial gravity. So as soon as you step in there, you need to basically pull yourself along the corridor using the exposed metal beams and things as handholds.
As they get through, Kara would like to make it very clear that while she's told Agnar to rough himself up, she has in fact put on some makeup and prettied herself up a little bit and is looking her best. She's chosen quite a cool outfit to go with her spacesuit.
Okay.
Ben, can Agnar turn on the magnetic grapples on his combat armor?
He absolutely can. And they will work flawlessly in this environment.
Oh.
Wonderful. It gives him more hands for holding presents.
Absolutely, it does. And it means you can basically just walk down the corridor completely unaffected by the 0G. Meanwhile, can Kara please make an athletics dex roll for me, please?
Oh, my favourite roll, thanks.
With dex.
Okay, hang on a sec. Yes, I can try. We'll see. It's a 7, flat 7.
Okay. As you lead Agnar into the airlock, and he turns on his grapples and starts making his way smoothly and calmly through the corridor. He's an old military man with the right equipment for the right job, and he's spent a lot of time on 0G environments, and he looks like an old sea dog at this point. Meanwhile, Kara grabs hold of the nearest thing and pulls herself smoothly towards the far end. And as she does so, rather loses track of which way is up and bounces in a sort of random pinball fashion from one side of the corridor to the other until she ends up Garfielding against the airlock door at the other end,
As it starts, can Agnar whip out his device and start recording?
Yes, absolutely.
And over the top, he'll say, "Hi, this is Kara Laska." Splat.
I'm glad I never gave you the password to get it up there.
Yes, Agnar, can you make an art visual media check for me?
Good.
Yeah, with any particular.
It'll be with intellect for you. So intellect and art visual media.
Oh, that's a 10 minus 3.
Okay.
A 7. Okay.
So as good as my GOG.
Your video footage is about as effective as Kara's smoothness moving down the corridor. It's shaky, but it gets you there, but it's not elegant in any way.
Agnar just thinks to himself, "Well, that seems fitting."
Yeah, seems fair.
I'm blaming these high-heeled space boots. I don't wear them often enough.
And when you get to the other end and help Kara unpick herself from the door and orient herself the right way up again, you find that the airlock is something you can just open and walk straight through. It's not locked in any way. It's just normally cyclable. And you step forward onto the fueling station. And that's where we'll take our break.
Oh, good timing, Captain Button. Just for a break. It's wonderful, though. You've had a bit of slapstick, a bit of intrigue, a bit of all sorts of things.
Poor rolls.
Yeah, and a very good roll.
And
We've had a bit of everything. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Please hang around now that you're here. We appreciate it. Do what you need to do, and we'll be back in 5 minutes for the toast and the second half of this evening. Now, let me just close all this down. And
refueling.
Refuel. Oh, we love a bit of refueling.
There we go.
Oh no, that's the advert. Let's put the brake on. Perfect. Oh no, let's take that off. We don't want to do that. But we want the sound on. Okay, now we're talking. That's good. That's good. I'm going to mute us. We'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. Peace and love, etc. We are gone. Good evening, everyone. It is I. I'm here all alone on break, just to sit and enjoy the quiet time. The last few months, I've been the Toastmaster, and my toast theme was toasting the late great Greyhill Bast, but using song lyrics. And so normally during this time, I would have been hunting. I never plan it in advance. The others two do much better. I'd desperately be hunting down a song, a pop song, and then quickly coming up with some lyrics that sort of I can change, you know. But now that's done, I can sit here quite relaxed. I can sip on my wine. I can doodle on my notepad. I can just enjoy hanging out with you guys, and it's an absolute pleasure. And Merry Christmas, a personal Merry Christmas to you guys. Hope you have a wonderful week, or however long you get. I get two. I work in a school, so I get two weeks off. Certainly earn it during the term time, but it's been quite nice to have that sort of week before Christmas, and to have a week after will be very nice too. But I'm a big fan. I don't know about you. I'm a big fan of that. Christmas itself is fun, and like Boxing Day is fun, but it's very rare I've had a job that I have to work in between. Like, because I've often worked in education, even when it's not in a school, I'll always take 2 weeks off at Christmas. It's always been my thing. On my 5 weeks, if I only get 5 weeks in the year, I'll always take 2 at Christmas, 2 in the summer, and 1 elsewhere. But I do love, one of my favourite times of the year is that 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, where you lose track for 4 days, what day it is, and every day is kind of the same. And maybe you're going different places, and the the cheeses and the meats you're eating might be slightly different, and the bottle of wine might be a slightly different bottle, but they all merge into each other quite a lot, and I really enjoy that, and I'm looking forward to that time of year. It only happens for that one time, you know. Life is such a rush, isn't it? Life is such a faff and chasing around, and we're all busy people, and it's nice to have a few days where you can just not worry about it, you know. It's nice, and I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. I'm really looking forward to the new year and doing more stuff with our streaming. It feels to me that the streaming community is smaller than it was, which of course makes a lot of sense, because during lockdown, when we sort of got into it, the tail ends of that, we're a little bit slow to the start, and that's we started just by playing with ourselves, you know, not in that way, but as a group. Well, that's even worse. Um, the pool was bigger, more people were watching because we had nothing else to do, right? There's a lot of people streaming, a lot of people watching. And as time has gone on, of course, people have found other things to do. You can go out of an evening for a start. And it's hard to keep things going for more than a year. Groups that do it for 2 years is even less. And a lot of the people that we followed and watched at the time don't stream anymore, or stream very rarely. The ones that did like 3 a week might do 1 every fortnight or so, you know. And it's sad that a lot of my followed streams, I guess, aren't active anymore, because some were absolutely incredible, really, really good stuff. Some really quirky, weird, alternative role playing stuff. And it's really important that people like Giannis, my big G, are running his games, and other friends of the show do theirs as well. Because all of us have other things that we're doing with our time, aren't we? And I think as that happens, each of us will be tuning into streaming less and less, and Twitch will collapse. And you can see that's why Twitch are allowing porn basically now, aren't they? They're allowing boobs and things like that as part of their new rules. So on a positive note, I'll be doing this topless next week. No one needs that. It'll be Ben that's topless. But we're going to do some more physical stuff. Oh, it sounds bad again. I can't. It feels like every time I have a sentence, it feels like I'm in a carry-on film. I can't make a serious sentence without sounding filthy. We could do some stuff in real life. I think much more is our plan. We want to stream. We'll do our usual stuff. We want to do stuff with people that we love, like our John's stream that we want to do, and keep our guest streams going. The stuff that we absolutely love, because we just love doing it anyway. And we've always said we'll do it if no one's watching, which is good, because sometimes not many people But we just want to do more physical stuff. There's a group that we know, Roll the Damn Dice. I'm one of the guys. One of the guys that's on the GM there is he was an usher at my wedding actually. I knew him when I lived in Birmingham, and he lived in Birmingham, and so I track what Roll the Damn Dice do, and they do a lot of the live stuff. So they hire out a hall. Where are they? Gloucester, Cheltenham, Gloucester, I think. One of those, Cheltenham maybe. I don't know. You know, they're Cheltenham and Gloucester, the Building Society. One of those two places. They're near each other. They're oh, Ben's back. I'm gonna put him on chat. Yeah. They hire out these places and they sort of do their thing. They do 30-minute and an hour. In our last convention, we had them along, didn't we, Ben? They did like an hour and a half session on the Sunday morning, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah, it was very good actually.
So they have a panel of them and they have an overhead projector and it's very interactive. They sort of get people to give them ideas of what they're going to do, who they are, what's around the corner and things. I liked it. It got me inspired, Ben. It got me inspired to do what I hope we can do some more of in the next year or two. It's be a bit more real life, I guess.
I think that would be quite a lot of fun for us, actually, because we started out playing around a table all the time, and I think that's where our first love always is sitting around a table, rolling some dice, and laughing with some friends.
It's kind of weird because we all live in the same town. For those that don't know, and we'd we formed as a round the table group. And although we role play together more than we ever used to do, like twice a week when we're all available, like for a decent chunk of time, we sort of see each other less than we ever used to because of that. In 3D, we see each other on screen. Like we get together, don't we, for drinks and things like that. But
we do, yeah.
But it's nice to see each other in full 3D in person in front of each other, kind of thing. It's a magical thing. So. I think I don't know about you two, but that's definitely my plan for the next 2 years is to do more in-person stuff, even if it's local, which is not good for you guys listening because you're miles away. But for us, and I'm hoping that more groups do that sort of thing. That there's more improv or role play in theatres. You can take a theatre on, as Roll the Damn Dice showed us. You can hire a theatre. You can put on a show. As long as you sort of cover your costs, they're perfectly happy. There's little events and go on. They do Comic-Con and that, don't they? They do little bits on Comic-Cons. But they do D&D, which is more popular, of course. And they're very good at what they do. They're good at voices. They're younger than us, a lot of them. Prettier than us, a lot of them. not prettier than Ewan, but...
Very few people are prettier than you.
Right, exactly. He's the housewife's favourite, after all, again.
I'm turning off my camera now for we come back.
That's why I got Agnar to rough himself up, just to bring you down a peg or two.
It needs doing, to be fair, every now and then.
Well, that's what we want to do. More in-person thing. If you've got any groups near you, or any places near you, push for it. Even if you're not much of a player or a GM yourself, find a group that will do something like it. We've got a board game cafe that's just opened in Canterbury. I'm going to try and push for us to do things there, I think. When they've settled a little bit, they seem friendly.
3D.
Yeah, we'll do some good stuff, man. I don't know. They've already said they'll run events. They could do stuff with the Canterbury CCCU, the ones that we've got a link with. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. So that's what I say to all of you: get onto your MP, do some roleplay stuff or something. I don't know.
We need a hashtag.
Hashtag
3D people.
Hashtag 3D people.
Yeah.
See if it's taken. It sounds a bit creepy to me. Sounds like a bad horror movie.
It does a little bit. Bad AI art, I would imagine.
I was unable to make a good non-pervy sentence while you were away because everything I said just sounded filthy. I think hashtag playing with each other was a good one. I think that'll catch on well on Twitter. I think that'll, or X, sorry. I think people will join that. Anyway, enough efforts. We're here anyway. Let's just put our faces back, except Ewan's. Oh no, he is still here. He promised.
Perhaps.
It's his body double.
It was a loose promise.
We trusted you.
I know.
It was a louche promise.
A loose one.
Right, we're back anyway. Look, we're all here. Hello. Look, here's our faces. Which means I think it's time for a toast, Ben.
It is
Speaking of loose
indeed.
ones.
It is absolutely time for a toast.
Oh, no, that's the wrong Grey Hill.
So, grab your glasses. And for many of us, it is a festive time of year. And I don't just mean the Varga, who have a feast and a holiday every day of the year, involving meat and drinking. Seriously, Varga are fun. For the rest of us, those who might be suffering the crippling affliction that is widely known as humanity, this tends to be a festive time. If it seems weird that so many festivals fall in such proximity at this time of year, remember that many of these festivals are scheduled based on the northern hemisphere of the third planet in the Terra system. Just a couple of jumps in a fast ship from the subsector capital of Lagash, and similarly convenient for Dingir, sector capital for the Solomani Rim. Maybe it seems like an obscure world to pick for such an important reference, but history's weird that way. Terra is a world with a fairly acute axis relative to the planetary plane, so it has pronounced seasons. And at this time of year, in the northern hemisphere, the days are at their shortest, the nights at their longest, crops are not growing, and the weather is cold and wet. Animals are hibernating, plants are in their least active state. In ancient times, people huddled together around fires, which were used to provide both light and heat, and they told stories and renewed their community ties. They picked this moment to have a feast and say a prayer and express their hopes for a good growing season. The prayers were different depending on the community, so were the crops and the language and the stories. But the hope for a safe and prosperous future, the chance to take the darkest of nights and make it a celebration, that was universal. It's an old and complicated story, and one that many people perhaps don't think about as they raise a glass, toast a friend, attend a ceremony, and together hope to step forward into the future unafraid. It matters because it derives its power from the seasons, from the planetary axis, from things that were shared by every person living on Terra. We commemorate these days still and everywhere. We are enriched by these days in ways that are countless and immortal. And this story matters because it unites us all, no matter our language, our culture, our family. And I know this story because I was told it in a forgotten bar one night by a special barman. He knew how much it mattered for people to come together, especially when they are fractured, divided, and fearful. We raise a glass to him tonight. The late, great Grey Hill Bast.
Oh, the late great Grey Hill Bast.
To the late great Grey Hill Bast.
Every night without him is the shortest day and the longest night.
It is. It's not the same without him. We miss him terribly, but there you go. And as we miss him terribly, you guys stumble through into the main area of this space station. The space station appears to essentially comprise one large room, and off to the sides there are a couple of freshers and some storage areas. And in the middle of what's quite a scruffily laid out place with old and rubbish looking furniture, there is a sort of middle-aged, slightly scruffy looking man who looks up as you enter and takes in the two of you. And he says, "Hi, thanks for coming aboard."
Ah, Drin. Drin, you you look even more handsome than your voice sounded. I'm Carl Velasco. What a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for letting us on board and stretch our legs a little.
You're welcome. Not a lot of room to stretch your legs, but sure. I mean, you can walk from over there to over there.
I think I might just do that. While I do, this is Agnar Arnson. A retired general. I'm sorry for his appearance. He seems to have given up on life recently. And she starts to walk up and down.
I take it it's oxygenated in here. We can
Oh,
remain.
yes, it is.
Agnar will take off his helmet and ruffle up his fur a little bit. Keep up the appearances.
Okay. So, well, nice to see faces. Most of the crew are down on the planet, which is nicer. We take it in turns to be up here and man the station.
How long's the shift up here, Drin?
We usually do a couple of days.
See many get much business during those days? Business?
On a really busy day, we get a ship. But that's a really busy day.
Sorry for rushing you off your feet.
This is rush hour. This is it.
It seems a nice way to spend a couple of days, bit of quiet time, some reading, refuel a couple of ships.
Sure. I mean, you're not wrong. None of us really look forward to it all that much because what we do down on the planet is a bit more fun. It's like camping and walking in the woods and swimming in the lakes. It's a pleasant place to be.
Is the GRT, is it a spin-off of the Scouts?
No, it's a big transport company. Just moves stuff around across and around the rift.
Wait. Sorry, Kara, which Scouts do you mean?
I don't know. Drin, how do you feel about do you ever play with your woggle?
It's a bit personal. Not around other people.
No, he's talking about something else, Agnar. It does sound quite nice down there, quite relaxing. Maybe another retirement opportunity for you if you don't want to take on the hustle and bustle of the tours on Delabru.
I am quite the woodsman.
I don't know that you'd necessarily want to retire there. It's a bit remote.
Well, I don't mind remote. I think it's quite a nice way to live sometimes. The simple things.
Sure. It's just, you're a week from the nearest bar.
Speaking of which, Agnar, give him. She starts
Elbowing
him in the ribs. Come on, talking about bars. Come on, we can bring the bar close to you.
This is for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. It's nothing special, but it's what we have. By way of thanks from all of our crew.
That's very kind of you. I wish I could return the favor. 1 second. And he sort of pops out of the chair and glides quite elegantly. He's obviously used to the 0G across to the one of the storage cupboards, pulls open the door and reaches inside and pulls out a small rectangular sort of metallic looking food item. And he reads the label and he says, nope. He puts that back and takes another one. Oh, definitely nope. He pulls out another one and says, yeah, this one looks like it's got food in it. Yeah. How do you feel about green rice?
Oh, I'll tell you what. It's amazing that someone could combine my favourite food with my favourite colour.
Really? Okay. Yeah. And he throws one casually towards Kara, and then he looks a bit further back and he says, "We don't have anything that would technically be meat. Not up here. Let me think. I'll tell you what we have got. And he pulls out essentially a little, rather than a commercially prepared thing, it's a sort of locally prepared delicacy. He says, dried fish. You like dried fish?
I love dried fish.
All right.
That's
We
very
dry
kind
this
of you.
ourselves on rocks.
Oh,
And he pushes back across and hands a sort of slightly greasy packet of dried fish to Agnar.
Well, thank you very much. See, this is why we got into space exploration. You know, the trade, the meeting new people, and the trading of goods, and the trying of local delicacies. It's a
Sure.
wonderful thing.
I mean, the fish, it's local, dried locally, on local rocks, by the local sun.
wow! Look at that. It's very boutique.
Artisan, you might say.
Ah, this is very much so. Lovely.
Yeah, I'm afraid there isn't any hunting down on the planet's surface, but there are some fish.
You can hunt fish if you feel the need to hunt. I suppose you can call it hunting.
Yeah, I mean, they're not very bright fish. You don't really need to fish for them.
That's because all the
Is
bright
that a
fish.
Brytsee joke?
I was saying that's all the bright fish are in the Brytsee.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you
I see
know
what
me
you
too
did
well,
there.
Agnar.
Yeah, the fish don't really have natural predators. So if you like put your feet in the water, they come over to investigate.
Do you think they need natural predators?
I don't think they would feel particularly strongly that that's what they need.
Okay.
Well,
That's
no,
something
not
to bear in
them.
mind.
No, you just put your toes in the water and wiggle them about a bit, and the fish come along to see what's going on, and you grab them by the tail and hoik them out.
Wow.
Do they eat the dead skin off of your feet? Have you been to one of those places? It's quite.
The fish down
Quite
here
niche.
don't even eat the other fish.
Oh, they're very peaceful fish.
They are peaceful, not bright, and not especially tasty, but they're okay if you dry them on a rock.
Oh, which these are.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it makes them a bit more spicy, you know.
wonderful. This is very exciting. Where are you from, Drin? You're obviously not born of Habretic. You're a local lad.
I tell you, I come from a magical, mystical, faraway world called Dillabrew.
Oh, now. How often do you get back to Dillabrew?
Well, conveniently, it's so close that it's my usual hop-off point when I leave here for my breaks.
Have you got a bit of paper? You got a bit of paper, Drin?
I've got a data pad.
Okay, pass it over here. Pass it over here. Quick. Open up a Word document or something like that. Little writing document.
Sure. He opens up a notepad for you.
Carl will write, I owe you 1 free week staying at Telon's with a free Telon's tour in the desert, VIP, signed Carl Alaska, and hands it over to Agnar. See if he'll sign it.
He will.
We've started a business on Dillabrew. A famous military man. Have you heard of Telon Rack at all? He used to be the poster boy.
No, but I don't really have a lot to do with the military.
Nor do I, given half the chance. But he started a business out there. We've bought a little a property on the outskirts of the Azure port, and we're running. It's like a bar, a restaurant, motel, like a hotel, with tours out into the desert. See the nuns of Panazio. Something like that. I'm impressed I got that close, to be honest, after so many months. And
they have a nice garden.
Beautiful garden, and they take you in. They do the whole thing. They do this amazing like singing bell thing. A couple times a day. It's amazing. It's all set up. We've got so many people signed up for it. There's some dodgy guy that's going to try and sell you some key rings on the way. Just refuse them. And but if you want it, next time you're back, VIP for a week if you want to stay, or if you want something a bit different, it's on us. As a thank you for being so kind to us since we've been here.
That sounds really kind. Thank you.
That's all right. That's all right. Um, what's Tell us about GRT. We're going to be travelling around a bit over the coming months. We've got a lot of stuff. Is GRT quite widespread around the region?
Around the Rift, yeah, we do most of the deep space stuff. So if you're heading out to anywhere that's not on the common trade routes, we normally move supplies back and forth. Research stations, mining posts, you name it.
Fantastic. Do you have any? We've got our ship, of course. We're moving around, but as you can see, we've got our ticket from Deep Night.
Mm-hmm.
We're sort of doing some stuff. We're sort of going on a long trip to sort of scope out a few places. Really, just we used to be a science ship. I'm sure that scanned up when you scanned us in. So we're just sort of doing our thing. Are there any? What we'd love is any names or any tip-offs or something. If we sort of get stuck, is there like a number or name we can cry out for, like a towing service, or a little bit of help if we get caught in the rift somewhere, if things go a bit wrong. Something we can cry out if we're in need,
I'll tell you what, can you roll a persuade for me, please, with intellect?
This is Kara.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I'm glad
you can have a boon with that, actually.
Oh, thank you. Well, we've both been. The boom makes it huge, Ben. To be honest, so it was going to be a 5 + 4, but now it's a 10 + 4, so it's a 14.
Okay. Yes, he says, right, depends where you are, of course, but as your friends.
Oh, and we are friends, aren't we? Okay.
GRT has like an internal policy of what they do to assist. You know how if ships get into trouble, everyone jumps about to help. They all change course or go to see if they can find survivors or rescue the ship or whatever. It's a sort of tradition among all people traveling from A to B. Well, GRT has historically given instructions to its captains to do that if no one else responds. But because we've got the story is because we've got these big lumbering transport ships, we shouldn't be the first to stick our heads up if there are others who are more placed to help. We're always told not to tell people this, because it comes across as kind of a bit like lousy conduct.
You've got a lot of stuff to ship here and there. These are big ships. They take months to turn around.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Well, we have internally, sometimes we have people who run explore missions for us or transport people for us or move supplies for us when we don't have the capacity, or when our ships aren't really suited for that, because most of ours are long range, of course, and that makes them expensive to run.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we offload on short range ships some of the less valuable cargoes that we can therefore charge our normal rates, but subcontract at a cheaper rate. The number of ships we take on this way, it's absolutely bewildering. Huge numbers of small transports, one kind or another. And because of that, we never know in advance whether a ship is one of our cargo carriers. So we always tell the captains on board those ships that if they get into trouble and they're within hailing range of anyone, then they should include a code word in their emergency message, so we know to treat them with more speed. That we kind of want to be the first on the scene, then, and not the last. See what I mean?
Yeah, totally get it.
So we, as you can imagine, it's a code word that you wouldn't normally use in an emergency, but if you did, it wouldn't stand out.
Yeah.
So what we tell them to say is blue spark.
Blue spark. Quite a lovely thing. I think it's so important. Even my crewmates make no note of it. During, so it must be incredibly important.
You could, if you were having problems, you were making an SOS, you could easily say, we're at this location, we're running low on life support, and we've got blue sparks on the consoles, and nobody would think it was weird that you'd said that. It wouldn't be like, oh, I wonder what secret message they're passing. But at the same time, it's not something you'd normally report. You know what I mean?
It's smart. It's smart. It makes a lot of sense.
That is very clever. Does that come down from on high? From who's in charge of GRT?
Blue sparks often do.
I don't know who makes the decision, to be honest, but just in case there happens to be some GRT around and you do get into trouble, add that phrase to your SOS, because it might save minutes and the amount of time someone can get to you.
That's really appreciated. Thank you. And a good idea. I like it.
You're a wonderful man, Trin. You're a wonderful man. Are you off this tomorrow, or is this the start of your shift today?
I've got about another 6 hours before I'm replaced here, and then I've got about another 4 months before I get my break on Dillabrew.
Well, like I say, when you do, how long is your break?
I get 3 weeks.
If one of those weeks is to a Zerport, I promise you a very relaxing week. We'll make sure it's a really chill, happy week. You'll see loads of Moamps. You found the Moamps, Drim?
I've never seen one in the wild, but obviously I grew up on the planet. I've seen them stuffed in museums and things.
No, they're incredible creatures. Only a horrible person would consider killing one.
I don't know. I can think of circumstances in which I'd want to kill one.
If one was charging at you, I could definitely see that.
I mean, you've seen the teeth on them, right?
Oh man, seen the powerful legs. They cover the ground in no time at all. Before we go, Drin, I would love. I'm a vlogger. You may have noticed. You may have heard. You haven't heard of me. It's okay. It's okay. You're not one of the 600 people that regularly watch me throughout the whole Imperium. That's okay. But I'd love you to do a little piece to camera with me, if that's okay.
Just I'm not sure I can do that. Don't think corporate would like it.
How about if we black your face out afterwards in post? We could put on a little growly voice. Like we could muffle out your voice as well. We could get like a jaunty Irishman to do your voice or something like that.
That would probably be okay.
Fantastic. So Do it
Do
normally.
we know a jaunty Irishman?
We can find one.
Okay.
That's all right. We've got a lot of journeys to go on, haven't we? Brightsee's full of interesting people. Remember those random truckers we picked up there last time, all named after trousers?
Mm.
Okay. I promise you, Drin, I won't put it out until we've covered your face and changed your voice. That's a blue spark promise.
Okay. All right.
So just look into this. Pull all the peace signs and things you can. Agnar, are you joining us for this?
Yes, I wouldn't miss this.
Hi, this is Alaska. I'm here at an undisclosed location on my journeys. I'm here with the unmistakable general of all generals, Agnar Arnson. Say hello, Agnar.
Hello.
How are things for you, Agnar? Is life good?
Life is very good. Yeah, it's wonderful. I've just picked up some dried fish, and I'm a happy Varga.
Okay, and moving on. This is a new friend of ours. She sort of slips an arm around him. I can't tell you his name because he's a mysterious character that works for a shady, magical corporation full of excitement and power and wonder and mystery. Hello, mystery man. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
What's your favourite thing about life?
Friends.
Favourite colour?
Blue.
Lucky number?
1,248,168,421.
You're the
That's
second.
mine too.
And if you were stranded on a desert island, what one item would you take with you?
A person.
See, Divyers,
Company.
Look, can you see this? Can you see these numbers? We've doubled our usual viewing figures tonight, purely because of you. It's all done in post. Don't worry. Peace out. Thank you so much, and join me tomorrow night on Car Alaska's vlogging community, where I will be teaching you all how to yodel.
If you're not careful.
See, he's got a bit about him, hasn't he, people? Oh, that's why we like him. All right, peace out.
Bye.
Oh, you're a natural. You're a natural. You're wasted up here, Drin. You're wasted up here.
I don't know. It's a job. I get a lot of time to work on my thoughts.
Hey, you could learn to yodel as well if you want.
Yeah, I could do that if I wanted.
Watch my. We'll be out of system by then, but when it's available in like a month's time, watch my video on it. You'll learn a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll sign up to it. Obviously, we get data transfers here when ships come through.
Good stuff. Every subscriber is worth their weight in gold. Gold subscribers get monthly topless videos of certain male members of the crew. If you're interested.
Not as interested as you might think.
Everyone has their own taste, don't they? But anyway, we don't want to take up. Do we want to take up any more of his time, Agnar?
I don't know. I don't want to just abandon you here. But as well, it seems precious. These few moments that you get to yourself. We won't waste them.
Well, it was nice to see you anyway. And as I say, I'm not long for the rest of this shift. Then I'm down on the planet for a while.
Oh, I wondered what you were going to say then.
It can't be that bad, I feel.
Wow, that's what I thought. Okay, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. We can test that blue spark thing in about 6 hours and 6.5 hours, maybe.
Let's not go wasting it, Agnar. This feels
I'm only
precious.
joking. I'm only
Feels
joking.
precious to me. What a man.
It was very valued information. Thank you.
We run into some lovely people, don't we, Agnar? We've run into some proper scumbags, but it's lovely to run into a truly genuine, wonderful character. What a man.
It's weird, isn't it? We either run into really nice people or the opposite.
Exactly. And I think we'll be chatting about him all evening, won't we, Agnar? Over a pint on the ship. How wonderful our trip.
We'll tell all our friends.
Tell all our friends. We'll say
not your name.
Of course not. Of course not. We'll call him Mr. X.
The Irishman.
The Irishman. Exactly. We'll do that. We'll make a cocktail and name it after you. Anyway.
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Very nice. Thank you.
Interesting name for a cocktail.
Exactly. We'll name a social media platform after you. Anyway, we'll leave you to your loneliness. We'll go back to our party ship now.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds great. Anyway, safe trips.
We would invite you, but we've got a horrible habit of just inviting every single person ever, and we're running out of rooms.
It's true.
And you're doing wonderful work here.
All right, can you roll 2d6 for me, one?
No. Poisoned your fish. Who do you want to roll it, me or Ewan?
Either of you.
Oh. Why don't you roll it, Ewan? Go on. Yes.
Go on then. Let's try to get through a whole night.
I know, I noticed that.
Oh, that's 5.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. He as you're sort of getting ready to go, he sort of springs across to the airlock to open it up for you, and he says, "Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the booze. That's great."
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the fish, and thank you for the green rice. Much appreciated.
It's supposed to be rice with like synthetically grown vegetable in it that makes it go green, but it's supposed to be really good for you.
Ah. Good to know. Good to know. We do not always have the best diet on the Baltic Star, especially since the toasted sandwich makers got installed.
Oh.
So I feel like some vegetables, some non-grilled cheese-based meals, especially those with vegetables in, will do us all the world of good.
Cheese is a vegetable, isn't it? I've been counting it as my 5 a day.
No, it's not.
Week.
Bread isn't either.
Oh god, that explains a lot actually.
Lasagna's a vegetable, right?
Oh, it counts as 3.
No, you people.
Oh. You and your military colons.
I give you potatoes at a push, and that's only because I was in the army.
He's got regulation intestines.
Yes. On the hour every day.
Okay.
But it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for stopping by. Good luck with your travels.
If anyone asks about us, we were well behaved and very professional.
We were well behaved and professional, Agnar.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
He waves you through the airlock and then closes it so you don't have to worry about it, and you drift your way back down the corridor. Kara, can you please roll an athletics dex with dex for me?
Yes, I can. Right, let's leave that dice alone. That was horrible last time. Ah, wonderful. 8.
Okay. This time you managed to glide down the corridor a little bit more comfortably, maybe just a bit more used to it now, without bouncing off the sides, and come to a stop at the other end, almost on a sort of 3-point landing up against the hatch. And by the time Agnar reaches you, you've already begun to cycle it, and you're through and into the Baltic Star.
What a lovely man, Agnar. What a lovely man.
I don't trust him. Sweep the shit. Check the fuel.
I can tell you, your
It's
heckles
too
are up.
nice.
Your heckles are up.
Too
Way
nice.
back.
Something's awry.
Ah, maybe it's your fish. Maybe he's poisoned your fish.
No, he was very nice. He was very nice.
So I hope he takes us up on our holiday treat. It's a tough job, innit? It's nice to give it back to the man.
Yeah, but the ship is, by all accounts, refueled and ready to go. You are fully topped up with 5 jump units worth of fuel.
Oh, so much fuel. Well, in which case we could go to 1, 2, 3. Just go to me instead.
We could go wherever we want.
We go
to that blank space in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a tactical wonder
It's a good
point.
place to run out of fuel.
We could head to Caboodle's backside, right in the rift. Brilliant. Why not? We go to
that was a good job.
the
And
squidlings.
a nice good deed done. Well done, Gara.
No, well done you. You fulfilled your part in our little soiree wonderfully.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to do before departure from Habretic to Brytsee?
Do you know what we forgot though? Forgot to ask about any Brytsee information.
You've got his name, Agnar? Give him a call. I'm off to my room to I don't know, read a book on I don't know, make my mind up when I get there. I'm bored of this now.
I've noticed you've got quite the extensive library.
I've got one on every single topic you can think of, and I pick one every 4 weeks.
Anything from admin to vac suits.
Well, there's some
and
I'm
everything
never
in between.
There's some I'm never ever going to read. Let's face it. I'm like, I don't know. Tactics.
What's the least likely?
Tactics, I'd say. Never. Seafarer. I couldn't care less. I don't know. I can't even.
You're not going to read those pirating books you've got.
That's different. You've seen my 30 books on philosophy. I can only have 30 books on philosophy if I give up some of the other books. There's a lot of professions I haven't even looked at. I can't barely speak English, let alone the other languages.
That's true.
And as for mechanic, ruin these nails.
Plus, we do have, we know a lot of good mechanics. All right, go pick a book. Make it something good. Tell me what it is later. I'll be in the bar.
Oh, wonderful. We'll chat it out in the bar. You can persuade me to choose something else.
I couldn't persuade you. Not with your deception and persuade.
I might do a bit more persuasion. In fact, it'll be a long time, but Anyway, I'll see you later. Enjoy your call.
Enjoy your book.
Might read about animals. Cara wanders off to her room, then leaving her alone.
And Agnar wanders off towards the bar.
Okay.
He will not make a phone call, though.
Fair enough.
Having thought twice about it, he doesn't want to tell too many people. He knows that I know that he would probably let them into why we're going there. And that doesn't feel like a good idea.
Okay. All right. So if there is nothing else, we will detach the ship and set off for a transit through regular space before the jump to Brytsee. And if there's nothing else you want to do, we will do the jump to Brytsee now.
Oh, let's do that. That means I have to Photoshop.
I'm pretty sure we've never done 2 jumps in a session before.
Bloop, 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 bloop. No.
And successfully.
It's brand new to us.
Why would you say it like that, Ben? There's never a chance that we wouldn't do it successfully.
Sure. I don't know. It's possible in the rules, I believe.
It is possible.
Can you imagine if Luke drew all those dotted lines and it turns out we ended up somewhere completely different?
So, PCs, please. Your skill updates.
Oh, I should have got my book because I wanted to check up on a couple of things. You start, Ewan. I'm going to go and check something in a book.
Well,
If you
Agnar is
need some
now.
advice, I can provide some.
Agnar's gone to week 3 on Persuade.
Okay.
And Stefan has just completed week 4 of 4 on Deception.
Okay. So he has Deception 1.
Did you
He
skill up anything?
does indeed.
What did you skill up?
Deception, Stefan.
Oh, yes.
I did have a 0, but now it is a 1.
I've got some really boring things I want to level up, but then I want to do some weird stuff as well, so I don't know.
Oh, it's all about the weird stuff. I feel
How's
like weird stuff is a good choice for Stefan on the next one.
So Rise up to 2 with their explosives now. He's looking good. What's Agnar in the middle of?
He's gone up to 3 now on Persuade, 3 or 4.
Oh, he's looking good. Oh.
Ben, can you tell me what the options are for Seafarer?
Yes, I can indeed.
Thank you.
For Seafarer,
I know it may be some time before we jump again, but I like to have Stefan's.
you have 4 categories, 4 specialities. Ocean ships for motorized seagoing vessels. Personal for small waterborne craft such as canoes and rowing boats. Sail for wind-driven watercraft. And submarine.
Oh, yes. Oh.
I mean, it feels really good, but practically speaking...
I knew he was into seamen. Oh, I'm very excited. There's so many cool skills in travel. For those that haven't played it much,
There
honestly,
are some
there's
really
just like
good ones.
far too much good stuff. You can be boring, but you can do some really, really amazing stuff.
What is it? The flyer ornithopter as well. It's a good one.
Fly an ornithopter. Do it.
Is that? I'm pretty sure that was one.
Oh, yeah. I got that. Yeah. Airship, grav, ornithopter, rotor, and wing. Some sweet stuff, man.
Well, I mean, why would you choose wing when you could choose flappy wing?
Exactly. Well, we've entered into the world of June now, I guess. Oh, I've changed my mind about 3 times. I filled up my
Animals.
art. I can't have another. I kind of like
whole
the idea
3 sections of animals.
handling animals. I think I know what I want. I can't have more art because I've done my 3 art. I kind of thought about investigate because investigate is good. Then I briefly thought about stupid things. Then I briefly thought about electronics. There's some really cool stuff with remote ops. So drones and things like that, which is fun. But there's something I'd quite like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I would quite like to start developing the skill of, I think, I'm going to run it past you. I like to think that Kara and Agnar sitting in a bar of the evening. Of course they do. That's all they do on job. In science, there's some good sciences here. There's some good sciences, Agnar. And you know I'm a philosopher. I'm a fan of the philosophy. Part of me wants to roll into psychology as well. But part of me is drawn to psionicology. The study of psionic powers and phenomena. Whisper it around Zoe.
You know that's a social science, right?
Well, I'm very social.
Not science.
Whoa,
That's true. You are very. You are very social.
There's a lot to be said about psionicology. I feel like
Give me the elevator pitch. Give me the elevator pitch.
I'm worried that. So we're tangling a lot with carvings, Agnar, aren't we? And Zoe said that these carvings are ancient and drawn into her people. And there's bad juju, right? Like she starts to flick through her phone, jokingly to show one of the pictures that gives him the bad juju. You know, and if I was to show you this picture, she doesn't probably show it. you would get the Willis, right?
Yeah.
Stefan too, some of the others, right? There's some weird psionic stuff going on with it, and I think that I don't want to rely too much on Zoe for it. I want to feel that sometimes, if there's some stuff going on, I don't want us to feel like all of us as non-psionic beings are too much on the back foot. Does that make sense to you?
That does make
I
sense.
rely on the philosophy, for catching people's vibes, but I'm just nervous that as we go into the unknown with these carvings and the different peoples, I don't want us to be caught unaware. You know me, I love science. I like the human condition, the Villani condition, the Soleimani condition, all the conditions, the Varga condition especially.
No, I think that's a good idea, and I have had the same thoughts, although not necessarily come to the same conclusions. I toyed with the idea that perhaps it'd be useful to have somebody who, obviously, we know somebody who speaks Zudani, but ancient Zudani, the language of the carvings, but I kind of feels beyond us. But
it take a long time, but the journey is long, and maybe.
But what you're suggesting is a much more feels like a much more attainable goal. That is a well-renowned science.
I do have a couple of ancient books, and so, like you say, on my bookshelf that I think I could delve into somewhat, and at least get a basic understanding. That maybe get a vibe if something's not quite right. Maybe someone's trying to get one up on us. There might be a bit of power behind something. Not much, but it's got to be useful, right?
Yeah, and it certainly seems more versatile than my approach.
Your approach is generally to cover your eyes and run screaming whenever there's any scary carvings.
No. I meant the approach of learning ancient Zudani. That's very specific. Whereas yours, at least, should we come across somebody, let's say, who isn't the biggest fan of our organization, and who happens to be Zudani, perhaps ex-Zudani special forces, that your knowledge of such, your future knowledge of such things could come in very handy.
I appreciate your knowledge and your wisdom and your confidence in me, Egno. You're a true friend and an ally, and I appreciate you much. So on ecology it is. Let's raise a glass to another week of learning. May we all be smarter.
Well, you'll be delighted to know that this week there are 4 of your NPCs who have picked up skills.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Rose has now completed her steward at level 1.
The most
Zoe has reached stealth level 1. Johnny has got deception level 1.
Oh, he's good.
And Sammy has got astrogation 2.
Oh, that's good. That means Sarai can be even lazier.
So those are the ones who finished this time.
Fantastic.
Oh. Okay.
Good stuff.
And a week after jumping, you pop out into regular space as the boiling hydrogen bubble around your ship dissipates naturally, within sight of the world of Brytsee. You've seen it before. It's basically 100% water covered. It's a water world. And as you travel in towards it, you see the space station in front of you.
Kara will get a shiver over it because she remembers back to Anton Fess at the time. It was where we met Zoe, of course, which is nice. But
it was, and Rose,
rescued Rose. There was a lot that went on.
Rescued Rose and unarguably rescued Sammy as well.
Rescued Sammy, and that's what gives Zoe the shivers. Gives Kara the shivers. the check that she did, the philosophy check, the worry, the concern. We got out of Dodge quick, didn't we? We left before we needed to. We were gone.
Mhm.
Oh, Rose, how does it feel to be back?
My memories of this place aren't all that happy.
I'm really glad we were able to take you away from the place, and I hope that your life has improved with us in that time, for the most part.
It has actually greatly. I mean, a few more screaming moments of near death and terror, but in exchange for that, the rest of the time's much more fun.
Wow, without those screaming moments of terror, you don't get to truly appreciate Agnar's fine whiskies.
That's probably true. Also, now I have a cat.
You do. How
Have,
is Agnar?
have I told you about my latest addition to whiskey in my collection, Cara? It's called the Blue Spark.
Oh, you've
He-
gone
he
early. You've gone
shoots
early on the blue.
shoots a glare at her.
Oh, this is personal code now, is it? Oh, I like the personal code.
I'll
Of
have
course,
to
of
I'll have
course,
to
of
let you
course,
try some
of course,
sometime.
of course. Yes, well, yes, more about the cats maybe, and less about the whiskey. Sorry, Rose. How is Caboodle? It's been a few weeks since we've really checked in with the little critter.
Caboodle is much happier now that Cat is up and about. When Cat was being taken care of and was basically bedbound, Caboodle spent a great deal of energy trying to work out how to get in to see her. Now that she's accessible, uh, there's less worry in the cat now.
Good.
Caboodle doesn't like it when people are on board and can't be played with.
Cat appreciates cat.
Yes.
I have noticed fewer claw marks down your legs as a sign of slightly less stress in Caboodle, it would seem.
She means no harm.
Of course,
You understand?
of course not.
I mean, I am a little bit concerned about the concept of cats in an environment where spacesuits are so critical and so easy to puncture.
Mm.
But our spacesuits do seem to be made of material that your typical kitten has difficulty cutting through.
I know. It's good, isn't it? It's worked out well in that regard. Is
And
there anything you miss at all about the orbiting station? Any reason why you'd particularly want to go on? A snack, a drink, a face, something you'd like to
I
see?
didn't really spend a lot of time on the station. I was down on one of the floating platforms
Of
most of my
course.
time.
And we don't want to go
So I
back
don't
to
really
sleep
have
out.
anything that I'm looking forward to. No.
Mm. In which case, maybe a quick passage through to our next target might be best for you. And then back out to the
Um,
big blue beyond.
yeah. I mean, I know we've got business here, but I'm perfectly content on the ship.
Good. Agnar, I'm assuming a quick ship down at least might be good. Put the ear to the ground, see if we can get any more insider information in the sector.
It's difficult. I didn't make that call back to our new friend. Information is great, but I didn't want to show our hand, if you will.
It's hard.
I mean, remember, everything that isn't literally one of those working platforms for the miners is on the space station.
Mm.
The bars, the entertainment venues, the restaurants, the accommodation, everything is on the space station.
Yeah.
We know the or at least we're pretty certain through our research and knowledge that that the Kelleran is in the system.
Mm.
If it exists truly at all, it's here, hiding behind some well, it has to be big asteroids, the other side of the star. I just wonder if there's someone down there that might, like one rumor on its own is a rumor. Three rumors triangulate potentially to a position.
Yes, yeah, and it could cut out a lot of legwork. We could research and try and find something out about the Kelleran that we could look for or scan for or try and find. But it seems a lot of a much quicker way to get some insider information. I
know you don't want to give the game
I don't
away,
want to
do you?
say too much. I've done this many a time before. You probably weren't there, but you might have got the impression between Sharp and I that perhaps once or twice I may have given away more than was asked of me.
Is Sharp on the ship? I lose track of Sharp. Is Sharp on the
No.
ship? No. It was good times with Sharp. How are you missing her? No, she was a good friend.
She was, and she was a very good. She was a very good opponent and a good colleague. Helped us through some tough times. Made sure we didn't go to jail for things that we weren't. Well, things that we might have been partially guilty of, but other things that we were entirely
But
not
only very
guilty of.
slightly guilty.
Yes, which
Guilty in a good
big
way.
grand scheme of things. Yeah, I miss her company.
I wonder. We know we've been to the space station before. We know there's bars, there's the gambling and such like. It's a transit hub. Yeah, people are coming and going. But there must be some old hands, some old drunks especially. It's the old drunks that will throw away a comment or something. Do you know what I mean? Without caring too much.
That's how we got here in the first place.
Exactly, and I feel that's the way, like old men's stories.
I feel a lot more comfortable speaking to old drunks who might not remember in the morning what we'd asked them or what they'd said than going around asking questions, for sure.
Well, you spent all week drinking with an old drunk that forgets everything in the morning anyway, haven't you? How is Cagsy?
Wait, who? Oh, I thought you talked about me then. Kagsy's doing well. He's fitting in, I think. He's a character.
He needs to stop making those flaming drinks every night. They keep setting off the sprinklers once he's had too many.
Yeah, I had to have words with Kron about that because he was worried about Kara and her explosives every time the sprinklers went off.
Yeah, he was
Thought
too
might have been a bigger issue.
He was too overstressed with that. I'm glad it does seem to have calmed down the last day or two, so that's good.
Apart from the Cags false alarms.
Who do you think if we're going to go on to the ship? If we're going to go on, I'd imagine we'll ask Soraya and Stefan. I don't want to give them too much power again because I'm a bit nervous after the time we gave them a bit too much sway on Dilabru last time. So many PowerPoint presentations. I can't be dealing with that again. They too seriously.
Death by PowerPoint really makes you appreciate the other ways to go.
Exactly. Is there anyone else you fancy taking down? Like, I'm sure others can wander around if they want, but is there anyone you think would be good to take down with us as part of a focused effort?
Well, if you were to ask me who I think would be good at getting information out of people through one way or perhaps entirely the opposite way, I would have to say Kat, Johnny, Zoe, potentially, with the old what's that thing you're learning?
Oh, by science, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
I can't even say it yet.
Um,
I've only reached level 1. I can't say it till I've done 4 weeks. Cat Johnny, so I'd agree. Rose would, but I don't want to take Rose down. She can't.
No,
No, it's bad for
I
her.
think that gives us 3 different options. That gives
Sammy
us
can't go down. She's freaking out.
the
Look at her.
nicey approach, the sneaky approach, and the I'm going to read your mind approach.
Yeah, I like
Which
it.
feels like all, the 3 key ways to gain knowledge, other than reading your library, of course.
It's a good library.
It is a good library. But it's not going to tell us anything about that. I mean, it might tell us something about the caravan. Have you read all the books yet?
Someone snuck in the other night and reordered my books in colour order. I was incredibly upset about that. It's got to be alphabetical, man.
I do really, because you strike me as a colour order kind of person.
Was it you? Were you just trying to be helpful?
No, it wasn't me. Vargo is seeing a different spectra to humans. So if I ordered it in colour order, it'd be all over the place for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Poor wolf eyesight.
But then, to be honest, philosophically, if we're looking at letters, what is alphabetical order? It makes no difference that B comes after A, really. It doesn't really, if you think about it. There is no order for letters. Why does L come after K? It's just...
only the one that we've created for it.
Exactly. There's, at least colour makes sense. The colour wheel makes sense. But so maybe colour is the right way. Alphabetical order is just a misnomer, a nonsense.
That's true. The visible spectrum is there.
Doesn't lie.
Whether we observe it or not.
The eyes don't lie.
So I hear.
So you want to take those 3 then?
Well, that's my initial thoughts. If you've got any suggestions, I'm open to.
I like it. Cagsy potentially might have a way around, but I don't know if this is for him. I think he's a bit more abrasive, whereas those 3 can come across abrasive, but there's a lot behind their thinking.
I think Cagsy would automatically, like, the first thing out of his mouth would be the Calaran.
Yeah,
and that's not necessarily what we want. He might completely blunder across the key to discovering its location, but I think it would be purely on accident and dumb luck, and we might give more away than we get. I might be wrong. But
something about discretion and valour, I think there's a saying. Yeah, I'd agree. Kat, Zoe, and Johnny. Why don't you chase up Johnny? I'll go find Kat, and then between us we'll hunt down Zoe and see which of the 3 of them want to come on board.
Yeah. Okay.
Good man.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, all 3 of them will happily do so, and Kat has to dock at the space station, so we'll do that now. Oh, very comfortably. Yes, it just kisses up against the space station perfectly, and she connects up. There's barely even the faintest sense of a pressure when the 2 meet, and you have an airlock that will take you straight onto the space station.
You need to give Kag some lessons.
Yes, sorry.
No, you say.
Before we do, could the away team please meet in the briefing room?
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
That's sauna number 2. just for a quick chat.
I'd like to raise an issue about. I think the away team should stop wearing red, Agno. I say it's not good vibes.
That looks blue to me.
That's your problem.
I can only see in black and white.
And less so if it's dark. Barely anything.
Gosh, are you going to turn off the coals this time though? It was terrible.
Yes, yeah. We're not gonna have it on. It's no way to enter a space station.
I'm not going to have it off.
Wait, what?
What? Cross wires. Anyway,
Thank you all for agreeing to come on this very important mission. This is rather unusual, uncharted territory for us to have a briefing beforehand, but I feel it's important. You all know why we're going. We need information. We want to find out the location of the caravan. However, it is also important that we don't make too many people aware of this. Certainly, people who may be slightly more sober than perhaps the average old drunk, Kara, who not Kara is an old drunk, but it's Kara's idea to question the old drunks.
How dare you?
Certainly anybody who's not going to remember anything the next morning, it's not a problem, but just if we could do it subtly, that would be greatly appreciated. Maybe not necessary, but a precaution that I think is worth taking.
Subtlety.
Mm.
Okay. They all seem to nod. Zoe looks down at her sort of weaponry and says, "Maybe just a handgun then." And puts the and walks off to put the carbine away.
I don't want to stifle your artistic flair, Zoe, but
No, it's fine. I can shoot a handgun.
okay.
Just not artistically,
Thanks.
sorry.
No, everyone seems on board with the subtle plan.
Wonderful. Well then, shall we?
Okay. So are all 4 of your characters going as well?
Yeah, I think there's no reason not to. It's about time we had a little 2s and 3s.
All right.
It's been a while.
Fair enough. Then in that case, if you are all going, that's a total of 7 of you. Crossing through the airlock and onto the station. The entry point for the station on that airlock ring where multiple airlocks connect multiple ships at the same time, you've seen before. You're actually not docked at the same airlock as last time, but they're all essentially identical. So you move through the sort of docking area and through the regular entranceway onto the main concourse of the starport. If you remember, to your right, there are 2 sort of general purpose modules which contain accommodation, small businesses, rental space, whatever people want to do. And on the left is the fabulous Nova Center with its entertainment elements, everything from arcades and casinos to bars and restaurants. They're all, none of them are unique. They're all chain instances. So there are places you'll have seen elsewhere, and the more widely traveled you are, the more you'll have seen them to be pretty much exactly the same everywhere you go. They are completely generic, but it's perfectly pleasant and you remember it well. It's franchise chains rather than anything unique. And as you stand there in the middle of the thing, you hear this this voice booming out from the Nova Center. It's so loud you wonder for a second if it's actually someone shouting at you, but it turns out not to be. It's just someone drunkenly and loudly proclaiming, "The Claymore! Now that's a story." And that's where we're going to call it for tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that is a story, and one that we recognise.
Oh. Well, thank you very much. What a place to leave it.
That is.
Thank you, guys.
That is good. Thank you, Ben. those of you that don't watch religiously, which is none of you, that'll mean nothing to you, but it means a lot to us. Very exciting. Oh, well, that was good, Ben. Thank you. It might feel slow to people, but we've been on 3 different planets this session. That's never happened in our lives.
That's
That
crazy.
is completely
2
unique.
jumps.
Yeah,
I'm
mean-
dizzy.
it's only slightly tempered by the fact that you actually haven't set foot on any planets in the session at all.
There.
But you have been in 3 different systems.
What is a planet, Ben?
Yes.
Philosophically speaking.
I tend to think it's something that doesn't have a grill over it for artificially recycled air and waste.
Yeah.
What about
okay.
Austin? Austin's a planet.
Yes, that's true. I think even if you're inside the city, you're probably still on the planet's surface. Yeah, but no, you haven't actually been outside at any point, but you've definitely been in 3 completely different systems this episode, which is remarkable.
Oh, it's mind-boggling. Enjoyed every minute of it.
Fast play.
So fast
Yes.
play.
So that was fun. Thank you, guys. I enjoyed that a lot.
That was
Thank
really
you.
good. Thank you both.
Thank you to anyone watching. We appreciate you.
Exactly.
Close to Christmas, and anyone watching is a dream to us. And we hope you might watch us tomorrow evening. Ewan won't because he's busy. Are you still busy, Ewan? Yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
that's-
to be fair, Ben and I aren't streaming tonight. We're handing over our stream to some people that like to rent our stream from time to time. Ben.
Yes, the Truth Foragers.
Dickie and Rick.
Because, yeah, I mean, they're genuinely interesting people, I think, who have interesting things to say that you are completely free to disregard and disagree with.
They care. I don't think they care
they-
for the right things.
They care greatly about things that are madness, but they care a lot, and I admire that about them, and I think it's good that we can give them the space to talk their talk. It would be very, very sad if we didn't have that, don't you think?
I think so.
Some interesting opinions. For
I
sure.
think so. For those who don't know, the Truth Foragers is a podcast. It's a very, 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 very popular. We're lucky to have them with us, quite frankly. A very, very, very popular urban myths and legends podcast. Where I believe I've only watched bits of 1 or 2 because it's just too frustrating for my mind. But they look at certain apparently well-known urban legends, and they've researched it for months and months and months, and then they decide whether they believe or they're skeptical, I think.
They do. And I will say it's quite refreshing that quite often they talk through a story and you think that they're just going to bite down hook, line, and sinker. But sometimes they actually say, no, I'm not convinced about this one. I think this could be misunderstood or misinterpreted. I like that.
Especially Rick Bishop. He's the more cynical one, I'd say. There's a certain cynicism to Rick.
He certainly seems to take some convincing. Yes, he's got this weird idea that the more evidence for something there is, then the less you believe it.
Yeah, it's a very confusing way to look at things, but he's very sure about it.
Yeah, he does seem very confident that that's a logical way to proceed in the universe.
They seem like nice enough guys. I'd say harmless, but I don't think you can say anyone like that's harmless. But they're quite interactive. They enjoy what they do, and yeah, I'm quite happy for us to give up the space when we're not busy.
Yeah, yes, exactly, and it'll be a nice little run into Christmas, I think.
I think so. Hopefully, it'll be something that our viewers like.
Yeah, should be fun. So that's 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. Some Truth Foragers.
Lovely. But until then, we will see you. I don't know after Christmas, but the Truth Foragers will see you before them. They look quite similar to us, but don't know that for you. It's just passing.
People have remarked how similar they look to us. And weirdly, they even had like a guest star on who looked really quite a lot like Ewan, apparently.
which was very odd.
You know, they say everyone
But
has a doppelganger.
personality-wise,
Oh,
yeah,
Mm.
personality-wise, chalk and cheese.
Oh,
You-
that
But
definitely.
very much doppelgangers.
Yeah.
you wouldn't be seen dead sleeping in an old van with tin foil around you, Ewan. I know you.
No.
No.
I mean, please.
Just the finest for you.
No, precisely.
Oh,
Too busy getting
Thank you,
married.
everybody, for joining us. If we don't see you before, have a happy Christmas, but hopefully you'll be
Yeah.
able to join us tomorrow night. Ewan, happy Christmas. If this is your last stream with us before the holiday.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and happy Christmas to everyone watching and the both of you as well. I hope you have a
Brilliant.
lovely time.
And yes, we'll catch you probably between Christmas and the New Year, won't we? We're going to have a weekend in there, aren't we?
Yes,
It's a strong
we will
weekend.
indeed.
All right. See you all. Sleep well. Take care.
Good night.
And
Thank you.
goodbye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.